I like
barbecue flavor.
Wait, but do you know how you make barbecue, where barbecue flavor came from?
Nah, where that cook? Because
it's crazy because I looked it up, but it's literally all the stuff all the condiments from a barbecue.
Wow.
Like what?
Ketchup, mustard, salt, pepper, and the stuff that you use to season like your meat and stuff.
So it's everything. Wow.
I always wonder, like, what the fuck is barbecue sauce?
Wow.
Yeah, it's ketchup, mustard. Wow. Mayonnaise. Wow, it's barbecue.
Get it? Barbecue
everything
sauce.
in a barbecue.
Right?
That makes sense. Yeah. I was 2 years old.
It's everything.
The first, I just always wondered.
Sean Johnson, Head Steph, Sade Renee, how you doing? And you're tuned into an episode of Sheem and the Chicken.
I don't even know what this means. I just be throwing it.
That's a Spider-Man.
Oh, is it?
It's
So I'm doing it?
yeah.
I'm old.
And we back.
We back.
We back. Gino, how was your week?
It's been alright, man. I'm about to move into a new apartment, you know what I mean? Bigger apartment, bigger space, bigger dollars, bigger pockets, bigger stomach, bigger fridge, bigger... Alright, you gotta get the point. You know what I mean? I'm in there, though. Yeah, I'm moving into a bigger apartment in my complex.
Oh, nice.
Me and Shorty's elated, you know what I mean? We got a big, nice kitchen that we like. I'm about to have my little game room for the stream. Just about to decorate it, have some lights, RGB that shit out, have me in the corner going like this or some shit. You never know. You know, oh shit.
What about you, Sade? How was your week?
You know, I get it, though. Come out, you know what I'm saying?
This week was pretty regular. I don't know, some weird shit at my job, but I'm glad. So
I've been talking about
we're remote. We're remote now.
Alright.
So I ain't nothing going on for me right now.
Yeah, monkeypox? What's going on?
It's crazy because we now tuberculosis.
What?
Yeah, I ain't never heard of that shit. I'm like, I'm never stepping foot back in that office ever again.
Fuck that.
I don't care. I have a client every day. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Fucking tuberculosis. Didn't that shit kill motherfuckers back in the day?
Don't you get like a vaccination for some shit like that? Yeah. I don't know. Well, I know it give me a good excuse not to go back in that bitch.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
TB.
Whatever.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I just been kicking it, man. Just streaming.
How about you?
Oh yeah, what's up, S?
Me, working, saving. I thought of a new way to like budget myself. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but when I split up my direct deposit, I always manage I split my check into 2 different bank accounts, and I save like 10 times faster. But if I have the same bank account and I split the money up into like the savings and then the checkings, I end up just like spending more.
Yeah, because you know it's right there.
I have no idea, so I just been just trying to budget and save a little more. I usually go out and try to fucking buy lunch all the fucking time. I'm trying to like cut down on that.
Yeah, I gotta stop.
You know, being a more reasonable person. I don't gotta fucking go out to eat every week and spend fucking $100-something on dinner. Like trying to, you know.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been like binging on Jamaican food. I don't know what it is, bro. I've been like craving home cooked meal, man.
I wanna go home.
I gotta just learn that ass, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta start like learning how to cook, bro. Cause I mean, I know how to cook like American dishes, but I don't know how to cook Mom Duke's foods. You know what I mean? I need to learn how to do that.
Honestly, what it really is, you cook. You know how to cook rice?
Yeah.
You cook rice. You know what I mean? You know how to cook rice and peas?
Nah.
You make a gravy.
I know.
You take it a step level up. Cook rice and peas. When you cook your meat, you sear your meat first and then cook it down. Have the gravy for the rice. That's all you need, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't even know what the fuck searing the meat means. Though,
brown it.
You brown it.
Oh,
brown the meat.
You make it brown. down.
You season your meat.
Season it up and make it look
Put it on
flavor.
high heat. You put
High
it,
heat, brown it
brown
all
it
around.
up.
Yeah.
Then you add
you
some
cook
water
it out.
and then
Cook it out.
Okay.
Well, you know what I mean? I
Add
love
some flour
cooking.
to
I'm not
thicken
gonna
up the
front.
gravy.
I ain't gonna lie, S is a chef, bro.
I'm a fat boy at heart. Yeah.
That nigga could take anything and make a meal out of it. I haven't seen him do it, bro. I'm like, what is it? You kid in the crib, motherfucker? Took some cornflakes and made fried chicken. I was like,
Oh yeah,
you mash them up.
I was like, what the fucking MacGyver? How many years you spent in the clink, my nigga? I was like, that's some prison shit this nigga just did.
No, yo, there's different. There's niggas that know how to cook and take like different ingredients that complement each other.
Yeah.
And then there's niggas that jail cook. I hate jail cook.
food.
Yeah, my pops. I ain't gonna
When
lie, this nigga anything.
Niggas just be taking every flavor and everything and just make a stew and just call it, that's cooking.
Yeah,
You know
I don't know about that shit. Nah, I'm talking about like, I'm trying to get to the point where it's just like, I just know I got, so say if I have minimalistic, a minimal amount of seasoning and things, I'm like, all right, you can take this, and I just want to be able to see food or ingredients, be like, all right, we can make these 5 different dishes. Which one you want? That's what when I'm able to do that, then I'm like, all right, me, burgers, hot dog, pasta,
What?
shrimp, chicken, grilled chicken. What else? Anything for breakfast. I'm a beast with my little secret ingredients with the breakfast. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a breakfast type of nigga.
Yo, it's formulas. Like, it remind me of making beats. Like, beats is all formulas.
Okay.
If you want to make a party beat, it's about, different generations and shit, but it's about claps and hard drums and like highs that like ride the beat and like make you feel upbeat,
Yeah.
If you want to make gangster beat, you know what I mean? You'll use the lows to your advantage. You want to contrast it with like maybe some havoc highs, like dark piano. Like it's all formulas. Like seafood, I know that like citrus goes with fish. You sprinkle some citrus on the fish.
Yeah, citrus
with the garlic. You get what I'm saying?
Garlic, yeah.
You know that certain
things
flavors go together.
Complement each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like salt and caramel.
Yeah.
Ooh,
man. Boy. Salt and sweet and salty. Bro, let me break it down. There's like, I don't know if you know this. We as human beings, we got 3 taste buds. We got 3 different ones. We got the ones that's all over your tongue. We got these ones that go in a V shape, and then we got these ones that's like, I think on the out layers of your tongue, right? And the reason why sweet and salty is such a perfect combination is because it's hitting 2 of your taste buds at the same time, bro. So bacon and ice cream, really? I know it sound crazy, bro, but that shit is fire. Why do you think French fries and milkshakes go so good together?
They actually do.
Go so fucking good together, bro.
But bacon and ice cream?
Take a bite of a bacon and take a spoon of ice cream, my nigga. You gonna be in heaven, my nigga. I'm telling you that song kind.
Let me ask you.
I'm telling you, you're gonna be floating.
Let me ask you, what's the weirdest thing that you like?
The weirdest? I'm gonna say I like if I get a really good New York pizza, I'll take a bite of the pizza and I take some root beer and while the pizza's in my mouth, take a sip of the root beer. I don't know why. That shit hits. Bro.
Really?
It's only food and drink combination because I'm a weird person when it comes to textures and like I don't like tapioca pudding. I don't like pulp in my orange juice. If anything, I don't like soup. I don't. It's either I'm drinking or I'm eating. If you try to combine the two, I get nauseous. You know what I mean? I don't like wet eggs. That shit is disgusting to me. But pizza and root beer slap, bro.
What about you, Sade?
Try it out. You know she don't like anything, so you gotta try it, bro. I'm telling you. Give it a try.
You ever had a sugar sandwich or a chip sandwich?
Come on, bro. We from the hood, dog. Well,
sugar sandwich be busting. What about chip sandwich?
Chip sandwich.
Take some bread, butter the bread, put some chips inside.
I don't say I had chips just like that, but I done put chips on like a burger. I ain't never had a chip shake, but I definitely had sugar.
Oh, you get a turkey, lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, put some chips in there?
Oh my God. That shit bust right there, my man.
Look at
I ain't
Sade.
gonna lie. What? Yo,
So, Sade, what's the weirdest thing you eat?
Peanut butter on chocolate chip cookies. I'm pretty basic. I
that
don't.
ain't weird.
That's what I said, but I dip it in juice. I dip it in
dip it-
fruit, punch.
Oh,
And I used to put-
you had the audacity to side eye me when I
You
said
know what?
that.
You was one of those kids that had their birthday at Kids Aerobics.
Yo, that ass.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
You remember
yeah.
Kids Aerobics?
Actually, I didn't like birthday parties, but I love kids aerobics. No, I like weird. I'm a bitter person. I like bitter and
Whoa.
I like bitter and sweet.
So you would like liver.
I do like liver.
Oh.
You like liver?
I like.
Oh, no,
You know what's crazy
dog.
is I like the stuff that nobody likes. I like lima beans. I like
Oh, lima beans.
asparagus.
Yeah.
I like.
Asparagus is good. too.
Lima
Yeah.
beans and some motherfucking
No, I'm saying, like-
oxtail.
What? Body that hoe, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like, I like-
body that
I like
shit.
mint chocolate chip. I put it in between my chocolate chip cookies and I eat it like that.
Oh, yo, you know what's funny? Yo, you ain't hear the craziest thing, bro? I used to like mint chocolate, mint flavored shit.
I love.
And then
flavored
somebody
shit.
fucked it up for me. They
Why?
showed me a meme, and it was like
It
people
tastes
that
like toothpaste. I like toothpaste. I used to eat
yo,
toothpaste.
they showed me that, bro. I have not been able to eat anything mint
Why?
since, bro, because I just think I'm eating toothpaste now.
You didn't eat
I
toothpaste?
hate toothpaste.
When I was little, I
That
just
shit is
used to. I used to
disgusting,
suck.
bro.
I used to get in trouble because I used to suck the toothpaste out the tooth.
Oh my god. Oh,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. I like weird stuff, and I think my taste really adapted to like what everybody else didn't want. I kind of would eat that.
Hell
And I
no.
would like that, like, It was just like I grew up with a bunch of greedy ass fucking kids, and I had to share everything.
probably would've been
So
one of
I
them.
just like
Has
if nobody wasn't touching it, I'm eating it.
Has anybody ever busted your bubble like that? Like you like something and somebody be like, hey, this is what you're eating.
No,
And it fucked it up for you?
I like this shit. Sure tastes good.
It happened for a little bit. I used to like when I used to scramble my eggs. My cousin would be like, yo, that was like snot.
Oh.
And he'd be like,
I like doing that for people.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I call it baby fetuses.
Yeah, stop.
eggs. I
You
can
eating
see
the
myself
baby
not
fetuses?
fucking with eggs. I can
Hold
see
on.
myself.
Let me say something. Eggs.
Not the baby
I
fetuses.
am obsessed with eggs, and I have been since I was a baby.
Ew.
But I am very, very sensitive about my eggs. If it's a little too hard, or if it's a little too runny, I will run to the bathroom and go and yak.
You don't like eggs.
I love it, but I also can hate it.
If you don't like egg Benedict, you don't like eggs.
Get that nasty shit out of
You
here,
don't
bro.
like eggs.
Ain't nobody
Just
bending
like-
no dick
like-
around here. No.
Just like steak. If you only like well done steak,
No,
you
you
don't
don't like
really
steak.
you don't like
You don't like
steak.
steak.
You get what I'm saying?
I used to, and that's funny because I was raised in a home where it was like well done,
Steak.
and then I tried it like medium rare. I never liked steak until I tried it medium rare.
I like
I'm
medium
telling
well.
you.
Yeah, medium well is cool too.
I'll eat. I love fucking steak.
I love steak.
Steak. I can eat that shit every day.
I love
Steak and
steak.
shrimp every day.
Yo, like when you got a real tender steak, bro,
Ooh, when that shit just fall apart.
fall off
And
your
it's
and
juicy.
you ain't gotta chew that shit for 20 hours.
And your face get all greasy from eating it
I
like
I
an
remember
animal.
I was working in the kitchen and I was in charge of doing the brisket. Right?
I love brisket.
And
is something different.
We'll dry rub the brisket, right? So we're like,
my God.
Sean, can you go dry rub the brisket? Yes, sir. So, put the dry rub in my hand and I was like,
Slap that.
what? And it got a little sensual. And I was like, I like it.
Brisket got a little thick.
Brisket a little thick over here.
Brisket
No.
got thick, dog.
I love food. I don't know what
Well,
to say.
I'm a
brisket was
I'm a
alive.
meatitarian, so
Yeah, hey, listen. I
I
don't know
love
about
meat.
meat, but I know that brisket.
I
nigga.
love.
Back before it
brisket.
was a brisket, she was definitely
Like,
packing. You know what I'm saying?
Sean, you ain't know that brisket over there? Coming!
Y'all nasty.
You know that dude that on Instagram that be doing the sir,
Yeah.
give me that brisket,
Pass me that brisket.
sir, give me that brisket. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
You ever watch the Best Ever Food Show?
Oh my
I'm not gonna
God.
lie, I don't watch that shit because I'm
You
already,
watch this show,
I'm
then?
already a
Yeah.
fat dude. I'll probably go.
I like it.
buy
I like it,
some
but it's weird. I be watching it just like my face been this whole entire time.
Jeez.
I just like, But I love it. It's fucking weird. I mean,
They be eating like he'll go to different countries and shit, and he'll eat like goat brain for breakfast.
I want to try some heart.
So he tries it.
Yo, ostrich
heart looks good.
Grilled ostrich heart.
That shit look dumb good.
You saw that picture.
So that look good.
Bring it up on
It
the
look like
screen.
steak. It look like steak.
Yeah, for real.
It look like steak. That shit like.
Y'all with eating exotic foods,
The
dogs.
weirdest thing that they
that.
eat eyes.
Snakes.
I already had snake.
They eat eyes and like the stomach. Ew.
You know, we Jamaican. Our grandparents be,
well, my grandfather was in the Navy and he ate
so
everything. He was the only one who could convince me to try something, and he would tell me everything was steak, and I would try it. If it was like steak, I would try it. Like I've had deer tongue, I've had cow tongue. I don't like.
It's too chewy.
I don't mind chewy. I'm really about consistent. Like I'm like you. I'm super fucking sensitive when it comes to my taste. I don't like I can't eat oatmeal. Makes me gag.
It used to.
I can't eat oatmeal, farina, all that. Like
I love farina.
A hot cereal. I can't eat it.
I love that
I just
shit.
can't. I'm like. Ugh.
No, well, it depends. If it's too soupy.
No, even if it's too thick.
Oh no, I love it.
If it's soupy, you know what's crazy is I have been reintroducing certain things to myself because I just came to the point where it's just like, okay, you're not a fucking kid anymore.
And you know, your taste buds change every 7 years.
But when I was little, they used to make me eat stuff I didn't like to eat. So then I got to this. I was like, I'm an adult. I'm never eating that shit again. Like I'll never touch a fucking green pea. I don't give a fuck how good they are now. I'm not touching that shit. I don't like cheese.
You don't like that shit kills me every time I hear
that's crazy. Not liking cheese is crazy.
I do not want to eat. I do not want to eat no cow puss and milk. I'm sorry. I don't want to eat that shit. And it's age. I don't get that shit to smell like ass and feet. I want nothing to do with that shit. I don't want shit to do with no fucking cheese.
It is kind of nasty.
That shit is disgusting.
That shit
and then
good on some nachos, dog.
I don't eat eggs at all. I don't even like this. I'll cook them. Like I can cook. I can cook anything. I have kids who eat everything. So I cook for them. And they always say my food is good. I don't know if it's because they just like me or it's actually good. But I mean, my dad taught me how to cook. Like we used to have nights and we took cooking classes in school when we were little. Like my dad was very adamant on teaching us certain things, and cooking was definitely one of them. So I could cook, but I don't know.
You ever had duck bacon?
I didn't even know this.
Duck bacon? I tried that.
So this nigga be out in like different like places of the world, and he be word.
Some chocolate drink.
I like this show. It's cool.
Now we're heading away from Kilimanjaro toward the Serengeti on a mission to discover the most unique, out of this world market.
Let's fast forward a little
sour
bit.
cow milk and mix.
Nah, I wouldn't eat that. That shit look crazy.
So the meat has been roasting now for about 30 minutes. They're taking
that I would fuck that shit up.
Jumbo.
Anything fire grilled is my friend.
They could cut my left arm off. I could cut that shit up like, oh, word? Let's get it, my nigga.
Hacked up pieces of goat back and bananas.
This show be making me feel like an American kid because I was like, why they gotta do all that?
It's winding down. The sun's gonna set in a couple of hours, and that
That's
means
planting,
everyone
man.
is
Come on,
gonna
we know
be
what that
out of here.
is.
But right now, even more food that I found, and also I found these.
There was a bug on that shit.
I lost it for a little bit. Earlier, I was.
Yeah, I hate playing shit just not planned because it just ends up like us like
Hold the flies.
yeah. Them niggas be having mad flies
Hold
around
the
the food.
flies.
The cob before boiling.
What is that? Yeah, shut
Now,
up.
the corn part.
Go to your bed. Go to your bed, no man.
Yeah, I cry for.
I can't wait till y'all have kids.
I'm probably gonna
You're
be
not gonna have some crybaby ass kids.
I'm either gonna be I'm be the best dad or the worst dad on
No,
this
you're
planet.
gonna be a good dad, but it's definitely gonna change you.
Yeah,
That little
obviously.
Jamaican temperament.
Nah, hey, listen.
I'm telling you.
Discipline is a must.
Okay.
Women are
You have a
tasked
little
with taking
girl.
care of
Oh, I have a girl.
Go
I
ahead.
ain't
She gonna be
lie.
wrapped.
Yeah, I'm gonna be wrapped.
Put it.
I'm gonna be wrapped around her finger.
You gonna be
If
put
it's a
it.
little boy, I'll be fine. But if a little girl, she's got
Right
it.
here, this looks like a beef.
Hopefully,
rib to me.
Mom
They
Deuce
cracked
can hold
it
it
a few
down. with
times.
Yeah, that shit ain't working right now.
that. It's
We gonna
okay.
ruin the show.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie, but yo, duck bacon, you
I
gotta
never
try
had
it.
duck bacon.
Duck bacon is fuego, my man. Fuego. That shit tastes. It's like it got the smell and the saltiness of bacon, but it's like, I don't know, a little bit more tender, and it's a little bit more chewy, but it just be popping. I ain't gonna lie. It got a little bit more flavor, I think. A little bit more flavor.
I like dry
that.
shit.
You like dry shit?
I like turkey, and I don't put anything on it. I don't need anything on it.
Oh my god, you got the taste buds of my girl,
I like
bro.
corn. I like corned beef, but I don't like sauces. I don't like white sauces. If that shit is white, get that shit away from me.
Yeah, you sound like a nigga is.
I hate anything white. Do not put that shit near me.
Oh my god.
I like gravies, like dark gravies, but
So you don't put sour creams on your tacos?
I don't really eat tacos either because they put too much shit on it.
That shit is dumb good.
No, I'm good.
I'm gonna get you a cecina beef taco.
I'm good.
You gotta take a bite.
No.
See, I'm the type of nigga
Don't
when they're
put no
like,
cheese don't put no cheese on
do
it.
you mind if
And I'm allergic to
I put this
avocados.
on it? Or do you mind if I put that on it?
I'm like, yo,
And I'm
make
like,
it
I
how
want
you
the
make-
works.
Yeah, make it
I
how
just
you
started
make it.
fucking eating tomatoes.
All right, so I'm telling you, cecina beef tacos. All you're gonna get is all you're gonna put is a little cilantro,
I like
onions,
cilantro. I like onions.
and what else?
I like peppers.
A little bit of tomatoes,
I like tomatoes.
and yeah, that's it. They don't put no
Okay.
cheese on it.
I don't like cheese.
The beef is when I tell
Well, I
you,
like soft tacos.
it's super salty.
I like salty.
You're gonna
salty.
love cecina beef tacos, bro.
Okay.
That shit is fire. It's aged beef.
Oh, I like beef.
Yeah,
I love beef.
It's so you gonna like it. I'm telling you.
Beef is my best
And
friend.
then you dip that motherfucker in that hot sauce.
Oh, I like hot sauce.
That
Yo,
shit go hard.
I wouldn't eat honey barbecue wings. So somebody like shoved one in my mouth, and I was like, oh,
Shit
I
is
think I like
dumb good. I'm trying to tell you. Honey barbecue wings is kind of fire. I don't like barbecue though.
I like
Barbecue flavor.
Wait, but do you know how you make barbecue? Where barbecue flavor came from?
Nah, where that because I don't
It's
like
crazy
it.
because I looked it up, but it's literally all the stuff that's all the condiments from a barbecue.
Wow.
Like what?
Ketchup, mustard, salt, pepper, and the stuff that you use to season like your meat and stuff.
So it's everything. Wow.
Wow.
I always wonder like what the fuck is barbecue sauce?
Wow.
Yeah, it's ketchup, mustard. Wow. Mayonnaise. Wow, it's barbecue.
Get it? Barbecue
Everything
sauce,
in a barbecue.
right?
That makes sense. Yeah. I was today years old.
It's everything.
The first I just always wondered. Like I'm one of those weird people. I need to know what that shit is.
It's the sugar and the molasses that fuck me up.
I love
I don't like.
molasses.
I don't like the way it's too sweet. It's like artificially sweet. I don't like that.
I got a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
I will not eat food and I will eat straight junk. That's my problem.
I fuck with salty
I like
foods.
cakes, donuts, candy.
Cakes and pies. Cakes and pies.
I'm not really crazy about pie though.
I'll tell
I'm
you
not
one
too
thing.
crazy about pie, but
Pecan pie?
I'm
Yeah.
allergic to pecan.
Pecan pie slaps, girl.
I think that's another thing that I was like a highly allergic kid, so they were scared to give me shit.
God damn, yeah, that's tough. Yo, I've been taking these allergy shots so my girl can get her cat, bro. Bro, the other day they upped my dosage. I think I had a tumor on my right arm for like a week, bro.
Welcome
that shit
to
crazy.
my world.
That shit sucked.
My whole body break out house. That's why I don't.
Fuck with that
I was
shit.
so upset. I love peanut butter.
Yeah, I love
and,
that too.
I developed a peanut allergy, like tree, ground, all of
Why
them.
you think that shit been happening?
And my
to people
whole, I was younger. I used to eat peanut butter and just take my EpiPen because I already knew. Like
what time it was.
I went to the emergency room like probably like every other week because I just would eat straight peanut butter sandwiches, like just peanut butter on both sides.
Yo, so I got an EpiPen, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
they make sure I have to have it on me when I have
Anaphylaxis.
Anaphylaxis.
Yes.
Yeah. So what happens? Like, what does that feel like? So I know when to use it.
When you take it, it's just like a sting. It's just the initial because
No,
it's in your thigh.
Not that act. What does
The
anaphylactic feel like?
Anaphylactic, it's the scariest shit in the world. It really, really, really
Yeah?
is. Yeah. Because your face, like, you develop, for me, my body would break out in hives. So it's like welts. It looks like big welts all over your body and they itch like fucking crazy. My face would swell up. My lips would get so big that I couldn't keep my mouth closed. And then my tongue would swell. And then it would go down my throat and it feels like you can't breathe. It feels like you're suffocating.
Oh no, fuck.
And
that.
it's like, you can't breathe. Your eyes are swollen shut. You ever see them? You never seen them
Hitch.
like on, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly like
That's
that.
anaphylactic,
And
okay.
but it itches.
Oh no, fuck
It
that.
itches like
You gotta stab your leg?
you want to tear your skin off. That's how bad it
I'm
itches.
finna stab. Nigga,
Yeah, what? That's what I'm saying. I just used to eat
50, my
the
shit.
peanut butter sandwiches, stab myself in the thigh. Or I used to take my medicine before I ate it because I already knew it was like it's a wrap, bitch.
Yo, you want to hear how I found out I had asthma as a kid? So I used to stay at my father's house. My father is an old school Jamaican nigga, like old fashioned, old school brown shoes Jamaican nigga, right?
Y'all Jamaican love your brown
shoes, and then I knew what he was talking about.
Leather shit, sandal, brown shoes Jamaican nigga. You get what I'm saying?
Y'all Jamaicans love your brown shoes.
Yeah, and leather sandals.
I
So
like brown shoe with the hook in the back.
So I was over at his house, right? And I was like, yo, I can't breathe. I just can't breathe. And he was like, see, that because you don't drink your mint tea. You don't drink your tea. See, you need some real food. This and that. So I remember waking up in the middle of the night to turn off the light and just walking to the other side of the room. I felt like I ran a mile. And I'm like, yo, something's not right. Something's not right. Just drink your tea. Drink tea. So I was just drinking tons of tea. Like I probably had like a gallon of tea. I probably had a gallon of tea. Drinking tea. So my mom's a registered nurse, right? She was a registered nurse, right? She retired. So I went back and then she was like, what's wrong with you? And she was like, oh, whoa, it looked like you're blah, blah, blah. I end up in the emergency room on the nebulizer.
Yeah.
And I found out I had asthma and I was thugging it out for like 2 weeks. As a kid. Crazy. At my father's house drinking tea.
You could have died.
I know.
Yeah, people have died. Kids have died from that.
That's how I found out I had asthma. I used to sleep at my cousin's house, Gary. And he had a cat, and as a kid, I used to love animals. And so I'm like, we used to wrestle with the cat, play with the cat. We stayed up until like 4 a.m. playing Lion King on the Nintendo cat sitting on my back. Nigga, I went to sleep. I woke up, tried to open my eyes were swollen shut. I'm like,
that's anaphylaxis.
Then I passed out. Next thing you know, I wake up in the hospital. I'm connected to mad shit. I'm going again, my nigga. That was like the rest of the week for me. Just go on this.
Yo.
I'll tell you, that's how they found out.
At least your parents took y'all to the hospital. When shit happened to me, my dad used to be like, go cry in a pillow.
Oh, hell
I broke both of my big toes.
You better chill out. We're about to call CPS real quick.
They did not. They dead ass did.
Oh, shit.
They dead ass did.
But
I had broke both of my big toes. You know how the door lifts up a little bit?
Yeah.
I was running and my sister slammed the door and my toes went under and cracked. And I broke both of them. And my dad, I was like, Dad, my toes hurt. Like they were swollen, they hurt. He was like, Dad, y'all play too much. Go sit your ass down. He was like, you want to cry? Go scream in a pillow. And a week later, I had to get them rebroken and had to put cast on them.
because if they heal like that,
they were like,
yo, is it a common thing for like, I don't know if it's Jamaican kids or kids in our generation to experience a unorthodox parenting?
Hell yeah, bro. We would have test babies.
Like, my mom would hate me saying this, but I definitely was like abused.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely got beaten too much.
I ain't gonna lie.
I definitely got too much beaten.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't get beatings like when they see in the movies and spanking your butt. I got punched in my face. So I ain't gonna say who did it.
I got beat with a wiffle bat.
Yeah, we got abused.
Yo, one time I stole, and this came with a machete knife, and I was like playing in the bathtub, and he slammed that shit like right by my fingers, and then he took me up. We lived on the 6th floor. Took me up to the roof, and like barely hung me over the side, and was like, "If you do that shit again, I'm gonna drop you off of it." And I was like, I still stole though.
Yo, so I'm gonna tell you like this. Here's how to know if you as a child ever feared for your actual life.
All the time.
You
all
were
the time.
You were abused.
There was this one time where it was me and my sisters, and I think we broke something like a china cabinet or some shit. Like we're playing baseball in the house. We broke a china cabinet or some dumb shit, right? And I didn't want to surprise my mom, so I told her. She was like, if you don't fix it by the time I come home, there got to be blood in here. And then my sister looked at me like, blood? Like,
she's gonna kill us.
She gonna kill us? This is gonna be blood. And, but it was just like, I remember my grandfather. My grandfather got 13 boys.
Hell no.
Big 6'4" niggas, big boys. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and he couldn't just like, spank you when I go home. Nah. He used to be like, yo, I'm gonna chop you up. I'm gonna chop you up and bury you. Da, da, da. It was like a different level. Yeah. So these niggas could be like, yo, you fucking. Even them as grown ass men
still don't want to fuck with.
Still don't fuck with him.
Yeah. And it was confusing. And
it's like
it's
that house. Conversation like, I forgot where I saw it, but it's like, should your kids fear you? Should your kids fear you? Is fear to be utilized as a parent, or should it be totally shunned out? And should that fear be admiration and respect?
So as I ain't gonna lie, I had a real rocky relationship with my pops because we had some. I went through some shit growing up. I'm not gonna lie, like some shit that, yeah. And for a long time, I resented my pops, I never made it public because my pops is like the hood mayor. Like everybody know my dad. He comes across very well, but we had some very hard times, and right now we're good. We're better, a lot better than we were before. But I feel like it spoiled a lot of the relationship between me. Like a lot of the time we could have spent together. Like up to this day, hugging my father feels kind of weird. Like I have friends that I see like go like trips with their pops. Like, yo, as grown men, like, yo, let's go on a bowling trip or let's go ride these motorcycles across the country or whatever. They do stuff.
Yeah, I wish I had that.
I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't feel. I don't know how to initiate it. I wanted it as a kid. And as an adult, I kind of accepted, like, yo, this is just how shit is. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, if I had the option to have a father that I didn't fear, I would, without a second thought, like, I don't think, when I have my kids, my children will not fear me in the way I fear my father.
They'll respect you, though.
They'll respect me. But we will have conversations, like, and I'm not saying spankings are a thing that shouldn't happen or some type of form of punishment, but as a far of fearing for your life or like that's not right. You shouldn't have your child fear you at all.
Yeah, I think especially as a girl,
it
creates these weird mixed signals because my dad was probably he was like my superhero, but at the same time I was deathly afraid of him, and when I say he used to beat our ass, and we were girls, so it's like he raised us to be women and girls and take care of ourselves. And he told us we were pretty, and we got lots of love. He hugged us and kissed us. He spent a lot of like time with us. Like that's where I got a lot of my nurturing from. But at the same time, he used to beat our ass within the inch of our fucking lives. Like we were afraid. We were like there were days we would sit in the steps, just be afraid to go inside because we already knew it was just a lot. So I think for a girl, it kind of translates when we got older. I found myself in an abusive relationship. I found myself in a lot of relationships where I was confused because I equated I love you, but I hurt you because I love you.
Yes, some people didn't have the thought like, yo, this person would do something this crazy.
It's confusing. It's extremely confusing. Yes. Like I ended up in a very, very abusive relationship, and it took me. Everybody be like, "Oh, why don't you just leave?" It was so hard to like. No, it's okay. Like it was hard to wrap my head around that love doesn't look like that. That someone hurting you and putting you down it's not love. But growing up being like putting fear in you and then hugging you and kissing you and telling you they did it because they loved you, and just being someone that you really looked up to as a woman. You grow up kind of like seeking out similar situations. Like I used to have boyfriends that just were trying to dominate me.
Yo, I'm not.
And it was very confusing. And then after I would get out of the situation, I didn't feel safe. So I became like this very tough, always wanting to fight. I didn't want to be affectionate. I was just like really hard on the inside because I was afraid of loving, because I thought love equated to like I can do whatever I can dominate you and do whatever I want to you. And it's because I love you and I'm trying to tell you how to do it right. And this is how you do it right. So it fucked me up. It fucked me up.
I can really, I guess that's a testimony that like shit like that is real, because even though you, as a woman, I can see that being a lot more dangerous because, man, you know, biology is stronger. But I found myself to be in a relationship exactly verbatim how like my ex stabbed me.
Wow.
She burning pots thrown at me type shit. Wild shit, police involved, just crazy, violent, toxic shit. And in my head, the way I translated as a kid is like, as bad as this situation is,
right,
this is what passion is. This is what love is. It's like, if she's able to go this far,
then she must really love me.
She must really love me.
Yeah.
And that's the way I read it. And it took counseling and experience in adulthood for me, and years of unpackaging for me to realize, like, yo, that shit was wild.
It took me to have kids and lose my mind.
And that's the thing.
To realize, like, that's not it.
And then also, back to the point with SJ, like, what is it better to be fearing your parents? It didn't stop me from doing bad shit.
Made me
sneakier, very sneaky and do. My thing was like, hey, I don't have the freedom to do what I really want to do. So when I'm outside, I'm really outside. Like, I'm selling drugs, I'm fighting, I'm stabbing, whatever. I'm outside, because when I go back home,
I'm gonna get it anyway.
So I got to make sure it's worth it. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah,
I don't want my kid to do that. I want my kid to come home and be like, yo, we in the bubble, bro. I love the bubble. It's comfortable.
Yo, it's funny. Nobody realizes this. Even like kids don't realize this, but I was telling my niece this, you have one childhood. Like you're a child, you're a kid for not even a third of your life.
Not even a third.
But it's the most important part of your life.
It's crazy.
Because it dictates
who you are,
how your brain is being developed as an adult. And you're an adult for the rest of your life.
Yeah, your subconscious stops being programmed by the time you're like 13.
Yeah, it's like whatever you experience as a kid are like the building blocks of the dynamics of your brain. You can like unlearn and relearn, of course, but as you step into this world as an adult, like it's not, they don't like land the plane and let you out and be like, it's adult time.
Yeah.
You just get pushed out there and it's like, shit.
Sometimes you don't realize
you're supposed to know.
Yo, I'm an adult now. All this mail's for me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's a fact, bro.
I remember like wanting to get mail, and then I got my first bill and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, I gotta take
this
some of my money.
Like I wasn't getting letters and cards with money in it. I was getting fucking bills. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, like I probably didn't fully realize I was an adult till I was like 30.
Yo, that's a fact.
I even had kids, and I was just like, I used to have to tell them like, yo, this is my first time with you too.
Hey, this is
my first time doing this, so I'm gonna get some stuff wrong. And I remember like,
that's real shit,
but
though.
it also like, I remember like my kids being really, really young, especially I had a boy first, and I kind of did some of the things that my father did, and then my daughter came into the picture, and that's what made me leave their father. And it was very hard to get out of that relationship because of my father. I loved him, but then fast forward, I'm punishing my son, and my daughter's looking at me like, you're gonna kill my brother. And I was like, no, I can't continue to repeat something that was just because of the sake that this is what was done to me. Like, I need to find a new way. And like you said, like, when you're a kid, that's what's ingrained in you. You think this is what you do. This is how you do it. And then you have kids of your own. And I just got to a point where I was like, nah, I need to figure out how to do this differently, because the look in that little girl's eyes when she thought I was about to kill her brother, and I wasn't even beating her. It was him. Like, he's the one he's the boy.
Yeah.
He used to get all the beatings. And it was just like, I gotta find a different way to do this.
Yeah.
And even now he's older, but I see the effects of me not knowing that. Like, my daughter's very different because I was a different person raising her than I was him. Like, I was really young and just coming out of a situation I wasn't prepared for, and then raising them and still being a dumbass kid. It was just like, now he's a dumbass kid. She's a little like, it's almost like your kids are programmed by the version of you when you have them. So I think it's like important to realize, like, even though these things had happened to us, that we don't have to continue them, that there is another way. And it's not necessarily like there's gentle parenting out right now, but I think that I have a more open dialogue, and it might not really work with my son, but it works for my daughter. And I think it's the version of you that can impact the child. Like a kid don't realize they're a kid for not even a third of their life. They don't know it. Yeah. So it's up to who's programming you to program as best as possible. Yeah. Because it's them who did it. Yeah. Like we don't have no control, and to not have no control and to feel like a burden and to feel like you're always wrong. You grow up as an adult that impacts you, even if you can change your mind. It takes a lot, and it takes situations that you probably shouldn't be in to be like, maybe my parents were wrong, or maybe I'm fucked up because of I thought that this is how it was done, and that's not it.
That's dope that you actually identified that, because it's sad, man. Like, as I got older, my pops, he'd tell me like a lot of stories of like how he was raised, and then it kind of made sense. Like, as bad as it was between me and him, he had it worse than I did, and it's just like.
And I think you forgive them.
I forgive my pops. At the end of the day, like it's not how I want it to be.
Right.
Like but it's still like. I forgive him.
It humanizes them a little bit more, but there's things to heal.
There's a lot. Like, there's a lot. You know
how many hard conversations me and my dad had, and he would say, "Well, I was just doing what I knew how to do," and I'm like, "Yo,
that's not okay, dog."
No, this is what I said to him. That's a cop out.
Yeah,
you're not taking responsibility because I'm a kid. You're the one who's supposed to let me know, and this is what you let me know, and you hurt me. And as a kid, like things seem really, really big, like. You ever, like, when you're a kid, it's like you're going up a hill and it seems like a fucking mountain? Yeah. You don't know. You learn that from the people around you. And I used to be like, yo, you have to. All I'm asking for you is to take accountability. Yeah. I'm not saying you're a bad person. My mom, it's been even a longer road because she was the complete opposite. She was a fucking narcissist and just would ignore us.
See, so you get like, so it's just like. I was lucky to have my mom.
It's just like a lot of stuff. Like sometimes you're not going to get the apology or the understanding, but it's up to you to recognize that and see them as human beings that went through somewhat more than what we did.
It gets to a point though where you're an adult and a functional adult in society, and nobody owes you any understanding. Right? Yeah. So it's like you have your problems, you have your baggage, but nobody cares, and you have to fend for yourself. So it gets to a point to where you have to be untethered, and you have to unlearn and relearn from what your parents, like the trauma of your parents trying to figure themselves out while they figure you out.
As hard as that is, it's necessary.
You really need to take accountability as an adult and be like, okay, I grew up kind of fucked up, but we gonna figure this out, and we gonna it ends with me, and I'm gonna do my things this way.
So the best thing for me, what I've done, it took a long time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like well into my late 20s for me to like really wrap my head around it. But what has worked for me is looking at silver linings, because I got treated or whatever the things that happened to me. It made me a fighter. It made me have a better understanding. You have to look for
the good things,
like the good thing in it. Like I'm not. It kind of was bad too, right? Because it came with levels. So like I end up being like extremely defensive because I'm like, yo, no, it got to a point in my life. I think when I got like my late teens, because I left my crib at 17. I'm like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I left at 16.
I'm like, yo. Anybody that tests me, I'm fighting them, my nigga. Like, nobody's putting their hands on me. Anybody I'm smacking everybody. So with that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was bad. I got into a lot of fights in the military, a lot of fights in the clubs, a lot of fights growing up. And then, like, I started to, like, see that as, like, all right, you're being a little too hyper-masculine, hyper-aggressive. You gotta, like, start learning how to fine-tune that shit. And that kind of, like, it helped me build a confidence. Like, I came from this. I know what a beaten dog looks like. And I know who that person is. That's not me no more. I'm this dude. Like, you know what I mean? So it kind of gave me some type of some type of power at
It's
the
a found.
end of
It's
it. You know what
it's
I
like
mean?
a foundational strength.
Yeah.
Like you can look at it and say, like, I look at all the bullies from my childhood or whatever, and there's a lot of things that I'm still finding hard to do, but at the same time, it's like, okay,
yeah, it's gonna be hard.
yeah, it's like, what did I start to look at it like? Not why did this happen to me, but what did I learn from what has happened to me, and how can I change this to be something that made me stronger, and kind of like. It's weird. I seen this on an episode of Dave. It's like, go to your inner child and like tell them, yo, we're good now.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep fighting that way. You can, it's okay to love. Love doesn't look like that where we are now. It's like you kind of have to check yourself and see where those things, like you did what you had to do to survive that time.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can I turn this into something that works for me instead of like being my detriment
Yeah.
and continue self-sabotaging because this happened to me. Like at some point in your life, you got to be like, okay, this is my life. Those people are no longer around and I'm in charge of what my life looks like. And I get to choose what my life looks like now. I've learned some stuff. I learned what not to do. And now I can figure out what I want to do.
Right.
I feel like it's a learning process. And I think that's what life is. It's like, it's a
Indeed,
never ending journey. And you get to a point, especially when you become a parent, you realize like, yo, these niggas did not know what they were doing. And I don't know what I'm doing, but now I can choose different.
Yeah, I agree. With that being said, I just, again, back to SJ's question, I feel it's extremely important for me to stress once I do have my child, I don't believe discipline is, I feel like not having any discipline is almost as bad as having too much discipline.
It is.
But there will be, my child will never fear me as if, my child will never fear for their life under my roof. My child will never look at home as
A jail.
a prison or some type of place where their guards are always up. They will always have that safe haven
I'm their
within
safe
my
space.
embrace.
Yeah.
But they also will be expected to have a certain amount of respect.
Consequences.
Yes,
Mhm.
honor.
Mhm.
Honor is something that I honor and morality is like huge things that I feel like us as people, like just, you don't hear about it anymore. Like it's not something that's taught.
Mm.
Like you never hear something about like, we didn't go to school to learn about honor. It's all about money and shit. Honor is something I'm going to preach till their ears fall off. And yeah, that's that. Male or female, I don't care what I have.
Yeah.
You know, it's a crazy and like a heavy like topic that just like fell into a topic, but
Yeah,
everybody has parents and everybody has a childhood.
Yeah,
You know?
Every single last body.
And like nobody had a perfect childhood.
nobody
No.
did.
So there's nobody that can like watch this and like not relate.
Yeah,
you know,
No,
you know what I mean?
there are people who didn't have, who grew up in
yeah.
healthy. I know a lot of people
Healthier.
who grew in healthier
It's
environments.
always something,
and
man.
they didn't. It's
There's
always
always
something, but I think I have some friends who just didn't have like immense trauma where like I look at them and I used to find myself being jealous that they didn't have
I know
to,
what that's like.
they didn't have to be in survival mode for a good chunk of their life.
I know what
And
that's like.
now they're in healthy, happy marriages and they have like decent lives. You know, it may not be the life I would have chose for myself, but they're like healthy, well-balanced human beings. And I'm like, how the hell? Like it's not, I almost used to think it's not fair.
I think everybody has something.
yeah, I don't
even
think-
I'm telling you, even if they had a good household and
I mean,
they
there's-
went to school and certain things happened at school.
Yeah.
Or say if they were I know I hear stories about girls that like really attractive and they have a good family, then they go to school and they have like they're the most popular, and even that's a problem for them because they can't tell if people are really really care for them or not, and they're just guys trying to fuck them because of the
I had
beauty,
that problem
girls
as a
trying to
teenager.
align themselves with them because they're popular. You know?
All right, so what I'm gonna, I see why you're saying what you're saying. So how I'm gonna sum it up is like this: at some point, as adults, we should have to take accountability for our choices and decisions in life. I'm not gonna sit here and say that being abused as a child does not have a huge effect on the outlook of your future, but it doesn't have to be your life. It doesn't have to be your story. It doesn't have to be your identity. Right. I don't say that to denounce the struggle or the difficulty of how hard it is to come out of that or to pull yourself up from that, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
So that's what I think you're trying to say in a nutshell.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm not gonna sit here and say like a person that's just popular and just a pretty girl had the same issues as being abused. Because in the end of the day, that's a struggle. But matter of fact, it doesn't matter. We're not here to compare
You're not
struggles.
comparing struggles.
We're not here to compare struggles.
But being a girl, what you were saying, like being a decent looking girl and having a certain type of body, that does bring a lot of trauma. Like just certain, like you said, friends, guys, like even just having older guys pay attention to you and make inappropriate remarks. And like you said, like at a certain point, there's no excuse for what you've been through. It's like, I learned to turn that into your superpower. Like now you know. It shouldn't be the reason why you're walking around being a bitch. It shouldn't be the reason why you're walking around hurting people. Because I know hurt people. But I think a lot of people need to like take some time and get introspective. And it's just like, okay, why do I do? Like question that. I think some people think that it's like, oh, well, this happened to me. So they walk through life just punishing everyone around them because things have happened to them.
Honestly, I think when things actually happen to you in your past and you actually get over it, you know, it kind of makes you more of a well-rounded person.
Yeah.
You ever meet those people that haven't been through shit and you can tell they haven't been through shit and they're always laughy joke everything and they're mad annoying and like they just like they're real surface and it's like I can tell you never been through shit.
You ain't been through shit.
I like, you know what I mean?
You see a lot of that shit in the army.
There's no depth to them
at all.
They never had to work for anything. They never had to struggle through anything to realize like certain characteristics that weigh heavier than all these surface characteristics.
You see that at work. You ever go to work and see somebody just like, there's so much stuff, and you're just like,
shut the fuck up.
Like people with low thresholds. You know, and
they ain't been through nothing.
Haven't been through anything.
Tell me like this. I know as having Jamaican parents, just like you described, how many times have you been like, right in your teens when you first get a job, and you know when you're a teen, you get the hardest jobs. And you doing all this hard work, and you had this thought like, "This is hard." Like, getting my ass beat is a lot harder. Of course. It ain't worse than that.
Not even getting your ass beat is a lot harder. Like, there's certain jobs where I worked, where it's like, I'm getting better money now, and I'm like, people are complaining at my job, and I'm like, I've done worse for less.
Exactly.
You know,
so
I was just watching this thing with Kanye West, and he was like, "I'm a robot. I'm so focused. You cannot offend a robot." And I just felt that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so focused, and I'm so just fucking like a robot with this shit to where it's like you can't infiltrate my mechanism.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people have such a low threshold for discipline. It's like, I'm going to the gym tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, or I don't want to eat that. It doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, it gets to a point where it's just like, you're so glad that you've been able to endure certain shit because people can't compete with you anymore.
Exactly. That's true.
I get what you're saying, but I think it can go one or two ways.
It definitely can.
Because
definitely can.
I went through a lot of similar stuff that y'all went through, and that shit broke me. It made me not want to try a life. It made me not want to do anything. Like, I didn't trust myself. I just thought I was inherently wrong. I thought I was just like not the person I was supposed to be. Like, there was a lot of shame, and it was like, I'm not who I should be. I should be what my parents want me to be, or what my grandparents want me to be, or my family wants me to be. And I just felt wrong. And it broke me. So then I just was isolated, and I was just very angry and sad. And I stopped trying. Like, I stopped trying to be a part of the world. I stopped, like, I know I have a very high threshold for hard work. And it came from just like being forced to do things that.
So that's what he's talking about, though, the silver linings. I'm not saying that the problem.
No, I get it now, but I'm saying like it
took you a while to pull yourself through that.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't kick in at first.
Same here.
Like it didn't kick in for years. It didn't kick in. I just thought I was a piece of shit.
I agree.
I just been able to have empathy for like certain people with different brain chemistries that, you know, everybody intakes their emotions a different way, and you have to have respect for that. And I learned that with like for example, there's like you know how they have red pill, blue pill, right? And then they have black pill.
I feel so bad for black pill.
So black pill guys are incels, and they feel like I'm not tall, I'm not in shape.
Yeah, they've given up.
I don't get girls, I'm not pre-select, and it would never happen for me, and that's just the way life is, and I'm involuntarily celibate.
So they give up.
So they just give up on everything, and you'll have the red pill guys who are like, you know what? The odds are against me, but I'm gonna get my money up. I'm gonna get my weight up. I'm gonna start working out. I'm gonna do whatever I have to fucking do. You know what I mean? To get through this,
like
and
somebody else's fault.
And the blue pill is just not realizing that there is a problem. You know? So like I learned just to have empathy for the people that just haven't opened up those doorways in their brain, because sometimes it's just a conversation, you know. Yeah, and like I remember being at a club and it's like, yo, how you know how we be around just talking to everybody, you know, like talking to like mad different girls and shit. So this guy's like, yo, how you doing that? How you talking to like different girls and shit like that? And I'm like, yo, you know, like her breath stinks in the morning too, right?
Right, like that's the
you get what I'm saying?
When she takes a shit, and she's nasty.
It's nasty, yeah. You get what I'm saying? You have to, and I'm not saying look for a way to diminish somebody else's.
Just humanize them.
You have to do
get
things,
on the same level.
Take them off the pedestal.
Right.
Yeah, you have to do things like that. Like we're all like everybody puts on their pants one leg at a time.
Exactly.
Like literally.
Exactly.
Like, and it's like you have to recognize both sides of the spectrum to where it's like, okay, I have a high threshold. I'm not going to denounce him because he's not ready to work like me. I just have to have a certain inspiration chemistry conversation.
That's why I like this. I like this podcast.
You know, it just opens you up. Exactly. It opens you up to really be like, I never thought like that before. Yeah. Maybe I can do that. Yeah. You know, that's what this whole thing is. It's just opening those doorways, like
planting the seeds.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I ain't gonna lie. Like there's been a couple things we done disagreed on. Mostly we agree on a lot of things, but you do have a way of delivering the pill, even if it's a hard one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't finna say that because all those individuals I just saying was a little suggestive, but or could be looked at as suggestive. But you have your deliveries as well. I took a long time to develop that because I so used to just being blunt. Like, man, you weak. Stop being a bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I recently, I'm gonna say like since I turned like 26, 27, or maybe when I got out of the military, I kind of like had to tone myself down and started learning. Like, you know what? My delivery could be a little better. And that's, honestly, I feel like that's good. Like, I feel like people that are that have been through trauma and see other people as well that's been through trauma shouldn't. Nigga, I've been through worse. Like that shouldn't be the conversation.
Yeah, right.
Shouldn't be the conversation.
Like there's people. I know somebody that I was telling her to go to the gym, right? And she goes, "Yeah, I tried going to the gym, but I went in the gym and I took a lap around the gym and I walked back out." And I'm like, "Why?" I almost had an anxiety attack. I felt everybody was looking at me. I can't even fathom that.
Yeah, that's just different.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone's different.
Like I come from a whole different end of the spectrum of both of you. Like I was just quiet. Like I was just afraid of everything, and I was afraid to open my mouth because one, I thought somebody either would hit me and I would have to kill them. Like I was an extremist, so it was just like I just shut down. I shut up, and it's just like socially, like growing up, I was always forced to be extroverted.
Being
And I didn't know, it's like you become like almost like too self-aware where you think that everybody's aware of you too.
Yeah.
So you just get to the point where you're just like, I can't do it. Like your mind or your brain, it tells you like, this is not possible. Like it stops you in your tracks and you're just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Cause you've already made up in your head about how it's going to go, what they're thinking. It's just like, I'm not even going there. That's why I really, really appreciate both of you and this podcast. Cause I've always wanted to like speak publicly and talk. And this is exactly what
very well. You surprised me.
Because I have support.
Yeah.
Because I doing it by myself. Like I've been trying to start a podcast by myself for years and I can't do it.
You can.
I can.
Struggled.
I can do it now. And I feel like just being alone and having those exact thoughts of like, people are trolls. People are going to troll me. They're going to tell me I'm fake. And then I think about, it's just like, oh, I can't say that. I'll start thinking too much. Yeah. But it's like, I really enjoy this space because everybody's open and honest. And then I know from someone listening who knows, like who feels like me.
Exactly.
And is just like, yes, she did it, so I can. And then I'm going to eventually, do my own thing. I want to do it really soon, but it's like, you have to defeat that part of yourself that thinks that you can't, that's stuck and feels like what has happened to you is going to keep happening to you. Like you have more control over that. And I think it's about, I've been looking about willpower all week. I've been reading about it. And it's like, you have to train it. Yeah. You have to train it to make the decisions that you wouldn't ordinarily make to build it. And it's a muscle. It's like a muscle. You have to keep doing it and practicing it. And that's how you get the discipline. And that's how you overcome those things. It's really hard to do, but if you don't do it, it's like, if we live for 100 years, we're only at a quarter. And it's just like a lot of people die with regrets. I don't want to be one of those people. And I would rather live my life afraid and encouraging people and go to my end and like, well, I did what I was afraid to do. I'm satisfied with the life that I live.
See, I'm thankful that like all I have to do is like really listen to like, I don't know, it's like an inner voice. It's like inside my head, right? It's like, you gonna go to the gym today? I kind of don't feel like going. Oh, so you're a bitch.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It'll be like that, or it'll be like, yo, what if people start laughing at you? Oh, just defeat them.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you mean? How am I gonna defeat them? I'm gonna just crush them, just take their head off.
Yep.
And it's like, what? Like who? Like where does that voice come from? How is that voice developed? Because I think being silent is power. Because even when I was quiet and people can take it as, I'm still quiet, people could take it as however they want to take it, inside my head I was still like the same person. I still felt like I can overcome like all these obstacles put in front of me. Yeah. It didn't just happen overnight. It's like what develops that that compass in your head that's like that you can trust, that's always going to lead you to north.
I don't know what
there's a lot of books on that.
I feel like that's like instinctual.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like something that's more like just native to man, not man as in male, but humans. But I feel like I have the same thing in me. Like I can't wait to prove motherfuckers wrong. Like, oh, you think I can't do like yo, bro, tell me I can't do. The reason why I speak Spanish. You want to hear the story how I learned Spanish, bro? I was dating a Latina. Matter of fact, I was living with her and her family at one time. And I had came home from work, walked through the door. Her and her moms looked at me and was speaking Spanish and we started laughing. I was like, yo, one day you're not going to be able to speak that shit in front of me. And she's like, you ain't never going to learn Spanish. That day, I went online. This is before like Facebook, Google wasn't popping like it is now. Like you can ask Google anything. I went SpanishDictionary.com and I just got a notepad, started writing down words. I learned Spanish in 6 months.
Wow.
Mind you, I was a bad student in school. Poor student. I felt like I couldn't get shit. But I taught myself Spanish in 6 months just because she said I couldn't do it. Simple as that.
That's how it works. I want
to be like you guys.
You doing
I
it.
think and it's like, I don't want to contradict myself, but I think everybody has it in themselves to like really, like overcome the, like, you ever heard of the, what is it? The analogy or like the story about the bad wolf and the good wolf?
No, what's that?
The one that you feed consume.
Basically, you have like inside of you have a good wolf and a bad wolf. Like
the consciences.
Not even the conscious. Like the good wolf embodies all of your good attributes, and the bad wolf embodies all your bad habits and things like that. And say if you go to the store and you get a Lucy today, and you shouldn't, you're feeding the bad wolf. And the more you feed each wolf is the bigger they get and the stronger they get to overpower.
Eventually one's going to consume you.
Yeah, exactly.
and it consumes you. That's
what I'm saying. And they consume you. But if you're eating if you're feeding the good wolf more,
it'll empower you.
He's able to fight the bad wolf, and it's like it's a ongoing balance between the two, and it's the more good habits that you practice or the more bad habits you practice, the more stronger they will be, essentially.
So I'm gonna say, when it comes to things of the mind and financial things, my good wolf is on 1,000.
Right.
When it comes to yum food, my bad wolf is flexing on they bitch ass, my nigga, because I like to eat.
but the thing is that it's not even like a financial good wolf, or it's
just one wolf.
It's
self-empowering and self-defeating.
Yeah. I'm just breaking it down.
You're just balancing the two
situations.
That with different departments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's like you might be balanced and the wolves are the same, but
still
in certain you're still feeding the other wolf in certain departments.
I got some things I got to work on. I know
everybody does.
I'm not going to sit here and deny it, but
I think
we're working on it. And on the top of that, like, one thing about me is when here's my biggest problem. I'm the hugest procrastinator. I could tell I didn't been through. I'm about to do this. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to do. When I start, there ain't nothing on. There's nothing that can stop me. You didn't see me.
You're consistent.
I am extremely consistent.
Yeah.
But the problem that I have is like when things go sideways. I'm a very routine type based person. Like, if you fuck up my routine for a span of like a month and 2 months, 3 months,
you're off.
It has to be like a big thing though. Like moving to a place where there's no access to something or a health condition where that's not my reality anymore. Right. You know what I mean? So I got to get back on that routine. It's kind of like,
you should read Atomic Habits.
Yeah,
it talks about that.
Okay.
And it's just like there's lots of elements that create self-defeating habits or self-empowering habits. And a lot like one component of it is your environment. So it's like if the people are around you doing the same thing, you're gonna more likely be encouraged to do it. Yeah. If let's say your bedroom, if you have a mini fridge in your room, you're more likely to eat. Yeah. If you have books in your room, you're more likely to read. If you want to work out and your water jug, your everything you need to work out is like right in front of you, you're more likely to pick it up and do it. Yeah. So that you will like that book because it's about. I'm a huge procrastinator too. Yeah. I get into like thinking analysis paralysis. I'll think about it. I want it. I'm like a perfectionist, so I'll like want to plan it out perfect, but I never get started. And if I do eventually get started, something will happen and it'll throw me off, and I'm like, I can't do it. And that's something in the past that I've always done. And it's like, well, see, there's like validating behaviors. So like you'll do something and it's like, yep, I can't do that. And I've never been able to do that. So I'm never going to try that again. But you can defeat it by doing it to completion and then telling like, look, you have proof. You did that. Yeah. So it's like the book really like helps develop the mind and the environment and just like helping you cultivate like that kind of empowering habits.
Okay.
Yo, I love books. And I want to say this because maybe it can help like open different doors like how we were talking about before. But I noticed with myself, that like I can read a good book and take on the information, but sometimes I won't be able to apply the information because of my brain chemistry.
Same.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Same.
So it's like, you know, the they say you can't read how to swim. Because when you get tossed in that water, it's something else.
So you probably
So
have
there's
the type
different
of
type of
brain that people
intelligences.
not learn from seeing.
Kinesthetic.
Like when I get an NPC, I can't sit down with the manual.
Yeah,
I have to go through it and I have to use
So
it.
I am the
that's
same,
different
you know?
types of
So
intelligences.
You can't translate literature to physical action.
Visual,
So
audio.
what I learned is I use certain methods to trick myself into forming habits. So because when it's a habit, I'm locked in.
You're locked in.
You know? So for example, like I know if I come if I'm done with work and I don't have my gym bag and shit in my car and go straight to the gym, I go home, I'm gonna chill and I'm not gonna go to the gym. It's something so simple like that.
Up.
But it's like it is setting yourself up, but it's like really knowing yourself, knowing your habits, and knowing why you don't fucking do things.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can read all the information about being disciplined and this and that, but you have to almost rewire your brain into and turning that into discipline itself. You know, because not all the time it's actually gonna work. It's like your brain is so smart that you can trick yourself.
I talk myself out of shit.
Talk yourself out of shit, and it could be completely logical. Like, yo, you shouldn't go to the gym today because first, before you go, you're gonna be sore, and tomorrow, if you work your legs, tomorrow you're gonna have a hard time at work. So just wait before you work your legs, and then like you could talk yourself if you're smart enough. You can talk yourself into
you know what it's like. It's like when you go to a person's house and they got shit that they know how to work it. Like say if like yo my nigga, like how you use the ice machine in your fridge. He's like, oh, hold on, I got this. And he gotta like pick it up, pull it to the side, and then shake it.
Yeah,
you know how this machine works, so you gotta set it up. Like, I need to wake up and stumble on the bag, so I stumble on the bag. I lift up. Oh, I'm ready to work. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. I'm the same way. Same exact
that's
way.
like a nigga reading. Not to get too raunchy, but it's like a nigga reading a sex book.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, oh, how to last longer in bed, like a 15-page manual, and you never learned your dick.
Yeah,
you never learned yourself.
You're reading somebody else's manual.
You learned somebody else's manual. Like there's certain ways. Like only Steph Curry can develop his jump shot like that. It's not gonna work for you.
It's not gonna work.
You know, you can
you.
still like. I'm sure there's certain things in books where it will generally work for everyone. It's like, oh, I didn't know the brain works like that.
Basic principles.
But you really have to dig in and just like use the machine, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact. Just like do your own shit, because it's like once you get pushed in that water, you've been reading how to swim.
Yeah.
Once you get pushed in that water,
you ain't gonna be like,
it's like, oh, right, left, breathe.
But that's the same thing boxers say, bro. It's like, yo, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like, people look at boxers like, oh, he knows exactly what to do when this situation happened. No, it's not that. This motherfucker just got it down to muscle memory. It's all muscle memory. It's like he's not thinking at this point. He's just doing what the body does at this point. He's done it so many times. You know what I mean? So it's like bringing yourself into a pattern or putting like routines into place where you don't have to think or even give your brain the chance to reason with you exactly. To not go.
Yo, that's with financial literacy too.
That's true.
Like the way I save money isn't gonna work for the way you save money.
That's a fact.
Maybe the way you save money, you have to see money, take $1,000, roll it up, and put it in the shoebox.
Yeah.
Maybe with me, I have to throw it in another account and lock it off, or cut up my credit, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many different tactics on how to make money that it's like
how do we keep it
in the brain chemistry, the the chemistry, the inspiration chemistry that we're always talking about. Yeah. It's like like things are tailored to you. Everyone is different. It's not, and things aren't gonna work for everybody.
It's not cookie cutter.
It's not cookie cutter. The best way to learn things sometimes is like you just gotta like get up and start using the screwdriver.
Yeah, you gotta figure your shit out. You gotta figure your shit out, and that's key, bro. And it's crazy that you say that, bro, because it's like. Me and my boy Niz, like we have like so many debates on like how like what's even if we, how do I explain it? When playing the game like this, like me, I'm like a perfectionist. I want to be the best. Like I'm like super competitive about playing certain games. Like right now, I'm ranked 200 something in the world, not in North America, and I'm like he struggled with certain things, and I'm trying to teach him how I tell you. He'll get frustrated. I'm like my nigga, like. Nah, bro, I don't learn this way. I just need to learn how to play and doing this way. And it's just like, to me, I'm sitting here like, that don't make no fucking sense. But like maybe that just works for him.
It's funny because that's the way the world turns. That's why all this dating advice is going out because it's not working for anybody.
It's like, well, you know what I mean? But that's the thing. That's a whole nother thing, bro. That's like, my nigga, dating advice from all these YouTubers, bro, piss me off. Because that nigga is confident in himself. If you ever try to tell somebody else's joke?
Yeah, you can't. You're
never gonna embody Kevin Hart
or tell somebody else's story.
It's just not gonna work.
It's not gonna hit
because you're not him.
You have to tell it in your way, in your fashion.
You gotta formulate it in your code, bro. Like do it how you would do it, but do it how it would convince you or make it. Come out, it gotta come from you.
And everybody has different avatars when it comes to girls too.
True.
You know, there's certain things that just the way I speak, it will come out of my mouth a little more smooth, you know? And then somebody else tries to say it, and it's just like
aggressive or creepy, like who knows?
That's what I'm saying. You ever hear a nigga say bitch and it sound wrong and a girl want to fight him now?
Yeah.
But another nigga is saying, you lying. And it's two totally different things. Exactly. Like everybody can't.
Like, you can't do that.
Go and go follow your friend then.
Yeah. Don't go out and go follow your friend, man. Yeah, that's a fact, though, bro. That's a fact. I'm glad that we touched that because it's like, I don't know. I think it's very important to know yourself. In the words of Drake, you know, our favorite artist on this show. Know yourself.
Wallet. Stop sleeping in the streets. Shake your warrior.
Hey, man.
Yo, with that said, that's another episode of the IC. Sean Johnson, Head Steph, Sade Renee. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you send your questions to asksaderenee@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in.
Namaste.
Thanks for tuning in.
All day.
Thanks for tuning in. Peace.